We're just chatting, and now we'll include you in this conversation as well. You know that women have always been caregivers, taking care of the house, taking care of the kids, and now taking care of the parents as well, kind of sandwiched in between there. And half of working women caregivers say they think they have to choose between being a good employee at work and then being a good daughter to the parents who took care of you when you were younger. Also, a quarter of those working daughters also believe there's a workplace kind of stigma to being a caregiver. 23% say they've had a supervisor who doesn't really seem to be sympathetic to what they're going through. So you might be in this situation, so it might help you to know that you're not alone here. So we're getting some balancing tips for free from home instead. So this is Dawn and Dawn making it easy on me this morning. We were just talking about a lot of people, women and men, who are caregivers, kind of take on the burden, the load, and just think, you know, this is what needs to be done, so I'm going to do that, and don't realize that there is help out there, some support that you probably find that you need.
Right. Most people don't know where to seek and support, and that there's support out there. Even such things as just finding a little bit of respite care for the family member that they're taking care of, so they can have their own personal time. There's community resources that can be tapped into. There's a lot of different things that can occur to help create that better work-life balance for them.
Yeah, well, especially when you're saying just a few hours of respite, that can be changing, you know, because it could give you time to spend with your spouse maybe, and just have just a moment away to yourself, maybe just even have a nap and a bath,
exactly.
You know, and that can really reset you. So we were also talking about work, how to balance that at work. What advice do you have for people who are like, I don't even want to talk to my boss about this because I feel like it'll put me in a negative light?
I really suggest that they do talk about it. I think that's really important. I'm a family caregiver for over 8 years for my father, and I do have kids as well. So I've been having that balancing act, including I also worked a full-time job, less, like 11 hours a day, and it was pretty demanding as well. And the struggle is trying to balance that very well. And I always kept my office involved and my boss involved and the owners of the company involved, and let them know what's going on in my life and let them know. And they worked with me on that.
Do you also find it's helpful to just talk to other people in the same situation, because then you realize it is a lot that you're taking on, that you're going through, and sometimes just someone pointing that out to you, like, you know what, you are doing a lot, and if you're stressed out, that's okay.
Exactly, and even asking for help. It's okay. Us women, we don't necessarily ask for the help, and you really do need to ask for that help, because you don't realize how stressed you really are until you're not doing it anymore. And you were just, I mean, I was really stressed out during the time that I was taking care of my dad and taking care of my kids and working a full-time job.
Right.
And even as employers, we need to make sure that we are recognizing that with our employees. If they're struggling, in what ways can we open those lines of communication? What ways can we help them tap into maybe some resources we have? Maybe we have an employee assistance program that they can utilize. Maybe we can help them understand the Family Medical Leave Act, and that there is time that they can take away for those doctor's appointments, or if somebody's having medical needs in the hospital, and how to utilize some of those other services that are available in the workplace.
Right, and then I imagine it snowballs. The more you realize is out there, you realize that there's even more out there that you can take advantage of. So it's kind of like that old adage, it takes a village, right? You can't do it by yourself, especially when there's so much to do. So I know you're looking for more information. Go to daughtersintheworkplace.com. There's some tips and links to more information, and just to kind of get you started on finding out more about the help that's available to you. Thank you. And it's so important to point out too that, you know what, you're not alone, and what you're going through is totally normal. You feel stressed out, totally normal.
Yeah.